You're watching Ned the Dead and Doc Moreau. Check out their stuff at nedthedead.com.
Welcome to Chiller Theater. Starring Ned the Dead, Doc Moreau. Featuring Plan 9 from Outer Space. Ladies and gentlemen, Ned the Dead.
Hey everybody, this is Chiller Theater. I am Ned the Dead. You... Are there any of you out there? Hey, I'm Other Kid, it's Chiller Theater. Welcome to the old, upsetting Chiller Theater, the new old, mid-range age of Chiller Theater. Whatever it is, everybody. It's been here since your grandpa watched it. It's here for you now. It is the one show on Green Bay television that just will never, ever go away. For whatever reason, it's like a really bad lesion. Like, you ever have one of those itchy Hubertus, I guess they're called, where you have them on your bottom and they're runny and kind of funny runny Hubertus? Tell you what, Chiller Theater, a lot like a runny Hubertus on your backside. Something that's always there, sometimes fun, sometimes not. Hey everybody, it's Plan 9 from Outer Space. Every week we have Doc Moreau's movie lore. He tells us everything we need to know. Let's go see Doc. Roll it, Doc. Or what?
Worst movie ever made? No way. It's way too entertaining. It's Ed Wood Jr.'s magnum opus, Plan 9 from Outer Space, Tor Johnson's face, Vampira's waist. Vampira, real name Mela Nurmi, is believed to have been TV's original horror host in the 1950s on Hollywood Channel 7. Star Gregory Walcott might be more familiar as one of Clint Eastwood's favorite human punching bags in 4 of his 70s films, including Every Which Way But Loose. I'm loving Joanna Lee even more since finding out not only was she Tanna, the alien female, but also a successful writer, with such classic TV series to her credit as The Flintstones, The Original Johnny Quest, Bewitched, and Gilligan's Island. Ed Wood got veteran actor Lyle Talbot for only one scene as General Roberts, but did you know Talbot bears the special distinction of portraying 2 classic DC Comics characters in their very first times on screen? He was Commissioner Gordon in the 1949 serial Batman and Robin, and Lex Luthor in the 1950 serial Atom Man vs. Superman. And his son Stephen Talbot was Gilbert on Leave It to Beaver. There's lots I'd like to tell you about Bela Lugosi's final film appearance, but instead, you'd best check out Tim Burton's 1994 biopic Ed Wood, starring Johnny Depp, and featuring Bill Murray in the role of John Bunny Breckenridge, who plays Plan 9's alien ruler in his one and only acting credit. You've been lured, Ned.
Doc Moreau's movie lore, everybody. He is the man. He knows it all. He says it all. He actually watches and enjoys the movies. For that, you gotta love him. So stay with us now, everyone, as we voyage to more sweet butter right here on Chiller Theater. It
is safe to state that the grandchildren of some of the people in this theater will not be born on Earth. They come from the bowels of hell, a transformed race of walking dead, zombies guided by a master plan for complete domination of the Earth. Plan 9 from Outer Space. Starring the most nightmarish cast ever, Bela Lugosi, the seductive Vampira, and Tor Johnson as the Walking Dead.
Turn off your electrode gun! No! No! Stop it, Dennis!
I can't get it. It's jammed.
Stop him, you fool!
Bullets bounce off their bodies. Rockets, missiles, jets cannot stop their death ships. What earthly power can stop this terror? For a glimpse of things to come, see this blast of screen suspense. For it could be happening right now.
Greetings, my friend. We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friend, future events such as these will affect you in the future. You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here. And now, for the first time, we are bringing to you the full story of what happened on that fateful day. We are giving you all the evidence, based only on the secret testimony of the miserable souls who survived this terrifying ordeal. The incidents, the places. My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer. Let us punish the guilty. Let us reward the innocent. My friend, can your heart stand the shocking facts about grave robbers from outer space? All of us on this earth know that there is a time to live and that there is a time to die. Yet death is always a shock to those left behind. It is even more of a shock when death, the proud brother, comes suddenly without warning. Just at sundown, a small group gathered in silent prayer around the newly opened grave of the beloved wife of an elderly man. Sundown of the day, yet also the sundown of the old man's heart. For the shadows of grief clouded his very reason. The funeral over, the saddened group left the graveside. It was when the gravediggers started their task that strange things began to take place.
15-4. Yep, right on schedule. There's the old San Fernando Valley out there now.
You better radio in for landing instructions, Danny.
Right, Jeff. Burbank Tower, this is American Flight 812. Over. Wouldn't surprise me any if he's asleep this time of the morning.
American Flight 812, this is Burbank Tower. If I were asleep, you'd never get on the ground. In your case, maybe I ought to leave you up there for good. Over.
You got me that time, Mac. This is American Flight 812 requesting...
Burbank Tower to American Flight 812. Over. Burbank Tower to American Flight 812. Over.
Holy mackerel.
Burbank Tower to American Flight 812. Are you in trouble?
Trouble?
Take a look for yourself.
What in the world?
That's nothing from this world.
Burbank Tower to American Flight 812. Are you in trouble? Are you in trouble?
Mayday, mayday. Stand by, Burbank Tower.
You suppose a passenger saw it?
I doubt it. Most of them are asleep. But it was quite a jolt, Jeff. I'll check.
Good. We'll get it ready for landing. And keep it quiet until we get instructions.
Right.
Okay, Danny.
American Flight 812, reporting to Burbank Tower. Over.
Did you hear anything?
I thought it did.
Don't like hearing noises, especially when there ain't supposed to be any.
Yeah, sort of spooky like.
Maybe we're getting old.
Whatever it is, gone now.
That's the best thing for us, too. Gone.
Yeah, let's go.
The grief of his wife's death became greater and greater agony. The home they had so long shared together became a tomb, a sweet memory of her joyous living. The sky to which she had once looked was now only a covering for her dead body. The ever-beautiful flowers she had planted, with her own hands, became nothing more than the lost roses of her cheeks. Confused by his great loss, the old man left that home, never to return again. At the funeral of the old man, unknown to his mourners,
What, is this a cemetery for circus clowns? I mean, all of them would ride in that little tiny crypt?
Yep, and they all came in the same tiny little car, too.
his dead wife was watching.
First his wife, then he.
Tragic.
Tell me something. Why was his wife buried in the ground and he sealed in a crypt?
Something to do with family tradition, a superstition of some sort.
Oh.
Well, it's getting dark. Let's be on our way.
Then, as two of his mourners left his final resting place, Minutes later, the police, led by Inspector Daniel Clay, arrived at the scene.
Who found them?
The man and girl.
Medical examiner been around yet?
Just left. The morgue wagon ought to be along most any time.
You get their statement?
Yeah, much as we could. They're pretty scared.
Finding a mess like this ought to make anyone frightened. Have one of the boys take the guy and the girl back to town. You take charge.
Okay, Inspector. What are you going to do?
Look around a little.
It's pretty dark out there. Once you get beyond the range of those lights, you won't be able to see your hand in front of your face.
I will get one of the flashlights from the patrol car.
Be careful, Clay.
I'm a big boy now, Johnny.
He's a big boy now, man.
Oh, it looks like a bobcat tore into them.
Yeah. Say, Lieutenant, did you get that funny odor?
How could I miss it? Oh, that'll be the morgue wagon now.
That's the fifth siren in the last hour.
Something's happened down at the cemetery. A lot of police cars and lights. I stopped, but I didn't see anything. Oh, well, whatever it is, the morning paper will carry the whole story.
You seem to still be up there somewhere.
Maybe I am.
I don't think I've ever seen you in this mood before.
I guess it's because I've never been in this mood before.
Something about your flight?
Yeah.
What happened, Jeff?
I saw a flying saucer.
Saucer? You mean the kind from up there?
Yeah, its counterpart. It was shaped like a huge cigar. Dan and Edith saw it, too. When it passed over, the whole compartment lighted up with a blinding glare. Then there was a tremendous wind that practically knocked us off our course.
Well, did you report it?
Yeah. Radioed in immediately, and they said, we'll keep it quiet until you land. And as soon as we landed, Big Army brass grabbed us and made us swear to secrecy about the whole thing. Oh, it burns me up. These things have been seen for years. They hear. It's a fact. And the public ought to know about it.
There must be something more you can do about it.
Only there isn't. Oh, but what's the use of making a fuss? But last night I saw a flying object that couldn't have possibly been from this planet. But I can't say a word. I'm muzzled by Army brass. I can't even admit I saw the thing.
You know, Bela Lugosi passed away before the movie was done.
Who's that then?
Ed Wood's wife's chiropractor.
Who looks nothing like Bela Lugosi and is much taller.
Genius.
Stupid. Aim it a little low there, Kojak.
Sounds like Kay's in trouble.
If that apparition we saw had something to do with it, come on.
Is he dead?
Yeah. He's messed up as bad as those two back there. Suppose that saucer or whatever it was had something to do with this?
Your guess as good as mine, Larry. One thing's sure. Inspector Clay's dead. Murdered. And somebody's responsible.
You're in charge now, Lieutenant.
Yeah, guess I am. Calton?
Yes, sir?
Back up the car and get on the radio. Tell the foreigners got to make another trip out here.
Well, how about the lab boys?
Well, who do you think we left back up the car? Boy Scouts? Come on.
You're watching Ned the Dead's Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
See this cute little vial here? It's crack, rock cocaine, the most addictive form. You think it's the glamour drug of the 80s? Well, that's the point of this fronted little reminder. It can kill you. And if you've got to die for something, this sure as hell ain't it.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey everybody, we're back in the old Chiller Theater. Don't mind them talking in the background. That's part of Chiller Theater. How you doing there, Big Doc? You want to shake this time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got some big paws on you there. You know what I mean? You got a big, large hand. You got what size shoes do you wear?
I don't know. Foot ones?
Why would you not know? Are you like the only person that does not know? I mean, I
They're
know for
like
a
a
fact
foot
that I wear
long?
a 6.5. Ha! And I'm only kidding. 6.5.
They're a foot long, and they go in my foot. So
Well, how are they? Like 12s? Are they 14s? How big are they? 10s?
11 and a half.
11. There you go. See, I knew you knew.
Triple wide.
I knew you knew. Hey, we're gonna bring up something new on the old Chiller Theater right at the beginning of this show.
What's new?
All right, here we go. We were talking last week about dudes and their scratching habits, right? And you know, again, you get up in the morning, you go. I was talking about dude and his scratching habits. So what we decided among the crew is that there is a number, you know, you get up in the morning, you go in the shower, or you're doing a horrible scratch thing. We decided that there's a couple of different techniques that are used in regards to when you got a little itchy deal going on. One of which would be the normal scratching. The other, though, is what we call here at Chiller Theater the pinch and roll. And guys, I know you know what I'm talking about. So I just want to say that if during the course of Chiller Theater you ever see me go, you'll know exactly what we're referring to. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Doc, you with me? Let's talk about Vampira for a minute then. How about something that you, I know, you love her, don't you? Dude.
How do they get the waist that tiny? You don't really see that much anymore.
You don't, I know.
Do they remove ribs and
I tell you
spleens?
What, I believe her pancreas actually was carried behind her in a little cart because there's clearly no room for organs in that girl. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I mean, much like the new music stores, no room for organs. Ha! That's let's go over to Hyde. No organs at Hyde. There's none. All right, everybody, let's get
People turning south from the freeway were startled when they saw 3 flying saucers high over Hollywood Boulevard. A woman, startled by the sight in the sky, telephones the police. There comes a time in each man's life when he can't even believe his own eyes. Saucers seen over Hollywood. Flying saucers seen over Washington, D.C. The Army convoy moved into the field. Rockets were quickly set up. Colonel Tom Edwards, in charge of saucer field activities, was to make the greatest decision of his career. He made that decision. Colonel Edwards gave the signal to fire. Swiftly as they had come, they were gone, even to the piercing eye of radar and the speeding jet fighters.
Quite a sight, wasn't it, sir?
A sight I'd rather not be seeing.
Are you worried about them, sir?
Well, they must have a reason for their visits.
Visits? Well, that would indicate visitors. The big gun's the usual way of welcoming visitors.
We haven't always fired at them.
Oh?
For a time, we tried to contact them by radio, but no response. Then they attacked a town. A small town, I'll admit, but nevertheless a town of people. People who died.
I never heard about that, sir.
Well, it was covered up by the higher echelon. Take any fire, any earthquake, any major disaster. Then wonder. Flying saucers, Captain, are still a rumor. Officially.
Looks like we beat them off again, sir.
What do they want? Where are they from? Where are they going?
How do they go to the bathroom?
Do they wear underwear or roll commando?
Ew.
They, sir? Who? Well, this is a training maneuver, sir. We only did a little practice firing at the clouds.
Yeah. I wonder what their next move will be.
That is a UFN, an unidentified flying nipple.
And it is very cold in space.
What will their next move be?
Your space commander has returned from Earth.
Send him in. You have your report?
We had to pull in here to Space Station 7 for regeneration. We're returning to the planet Earth immediately thereafter.
What progress has been made?
We contacted government officials. They refuse our existence.
What plan will you follow now?
Plan 9. It's been absolutely impossible to work through these Earth creatures. Their soul is too controlled.
Plan 9. Ah, yes. Plan 9 deals with the resurrection of the dead.
Is that idiot reading right off the script?
Why, no, Ned. That would be stupid.
Long-distance electrode shot into the pineal pituitary glands of recent dead. Have you attempted any of this plan as yet?
Yes, Excellency.
How successful has it been?
We have risen 2 so far. We shall be just as successful on more.
The living, they have no suspicion of your movements?
We had to dispose of 1 policeman. However, none of those risen have been seen. At least not by anyone who still remains alive.
It's too bad it must be handled this way. But it must. Those who we take from the grave will lead the way for our other operations.
Yes, Excellency.
Continue on. Report to me in 2 Earth days.
I feared His Excellency wouldn't take our report this well.
Well, had he been dealing with our own people, his reaction would have been completely different. He understands the difficulties of the Earth race.
What do you think will be the next obstacle the Earth people will put in our way?
Well, as long as they can think, we'll have our problems. But those whom we're using cannot think. They are the dead, brought to a simulated life by our electrode guns. You know, it's an interesting thing when you consider the Earth people who can think are so frightened by those who cannot, the dead. Well, our ship should be regenerated. We better get started.
It is very cold in space.
Hey, it ain't polite to stare.
Well, maybe it should put on a sweater.
I still think you ought to go in town and stay with your mother until I get back.
This is our home, and nothing's going to take me from it. Besides, most men try and keep their wives from going home to Mama.
That's not the point.
That's all the point there's going to be. Now toddle off and fly your flying machine, darling. But if you see any more flying saucers, will you tell them to pick another house to buzz? Be careful. Don't worry about me.
Oh, you're the only thing I do worry about. Oh, forget about the flying saucers. They're up there. But there's something in that cemetery. And that's too close for comfort.
The saucers are up there, and the cemetery's out there. But I'll be locked up in there. Now, off to your wild blue yonders.
You promise you'll lock your doors immediately?
I promise. Besides, I'll be in bed before half an hour is gone, with your pillow beside me.
My pillow?
Well, I have to have something to keep me company while you're away. Sometimes in the night when it does get a little lonely, I reach over and touch it. Then it doesn't seem so lonely anymore.
A crazy kid. I do love you, darling. See you Thursday.
Goodbye, honey.
You know I'm not leaving you here until you're locked safely inside.
All right, darling. If you're especially nice, I may even lock the side door.
And be sure you keep the yard lights on.
And cut. Perfect. Oh, it's time.
It is time. It's time. Hey, every week we have our friend Small Town Steve in here. Now, Small Town Steve, you know, we say Small Town Steve, but he's really he's a pretty worldly dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's nothing small about Steve. Just that he's from a small town.
See, I don't know those things. That's for you to tell them and not me. I'm not going to delve in any of that. What I want to say is, what I want to do is cough on the air first a couple of times. Maybe I could do some other horrible bodily things right here on the air. But I'd just like to say we like having Steve in. He just kind of sums up the world around us, you know.
He keeps it real.
Again, from Brothertown to Escaniblet, you know, out west out there to, you know, all the places of Rothschild. Places like that, you know.
Ishkabibble?
Oh, Ishkabibble is out there, sure. Ishkabibble, Wisconsin. Hubertus, like a big, horrible Hubertus, like I have right here on my rump, that I've actually started to squeeze the juice out of it, and it's felt a lot. I sit now. I rather than levitate. Once I started to squeeze the juice out of my Hubertus, it's a lot better. It really is.
Thanks a lot, fellas. This Small Town Steve down here at the shack chiming in for the Ned the Dead show. Happy to report that I'd have done it. The woman from Stangleville kicked in the head by her nephew's raging horse has been upgraded to stable. That's the joke. And we all knew it was just a matter of time and bound to happen, but rescuers were called to Pop's Resort after a frantic call from Dolly saying that Bob had himself lodged in a family's commode. Upon arrival, rescue workers soon realized that this, instead of a quick smash the door, crash the door down, save the guy type rescue, this thing was fastly turning into a grab the plunger, we gotta extricate the guy type scenario. It would seem that somewhere along Bob's morning routine, his valuable family jewel slipped off his digit, and in a valiant attempt to save said band, he managed to accidentally flush his arm down the toilet. With his arm caught in the maw of the commode, and not being able to retreat from the slowly rising water, Bob had nothing to do but yell obscenities, flail about with his free right hand, and scream, and I'd quote, "Help, help, I'm stuck in the John." Both Bob and Dolly are grateful for the rescuers' quick response and professionalism, and know that inner snickering that went on was unavoidable and surely appreciated. Says Bob, "Thank you very much for the help. The first thing I'm going to do is run down to the jeweler and have this band remembered," 2 words, "so this type thing doesn't happen again." For myself and the rest of the gang down here at the shack, I say, if you wear your band on the finger like the rest of us, none of this kind of stuff will happen in the first place. I'd also like to shout out to the gang, Travis and Jay and the Deacon and Big Johnny Hireman and Little Jim Hoyer and the boss down at the Plover Municipal Wastewater Treatment Facility. Thanks for inviting me down to the picnic and pool party. Although I'm not convinced that all the bobbing and swimming about in the churning brown water I did is going to do anything positive for my complexion like was promised. I had a good time anyway, and I look forward to next year, although I think I'm going to bring along my snorkel and goggles so I can start swimming with my mouth shut. And that's all I got. Back to you guys. And remember, keep those joints full and don't forget to butter your ears.
You're watching Ned the Dead's Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
Ponderosa, the rugged outdoor shoes that make your feet feel like they're wearing kid gloves. Ponderosa, with cushion insoles you can really sink your feet into. Ponderosa, the rugged outdoor shoes that weigh less than a lot of dress shoes. Ponderosa, in handsome styles and colors at a store near you.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
You're mighty silent this trip, Jeff. You haven't spoken 10 words since takeoff.
I guess I'm preoccupied, Danny.
We've got 33 passengers back there that have time to be preoccupied. Flying this flybird doesn't give you that opportunity.
I guess you're right, Danny.
Paula?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong between you two.
Oh, no, nothing like that. Just that I'm worried, she being there alone and those strange things flying over the house and those incidents in the graveyard these past few days. It's just got me worried.
Well, maybe they haven't figured out those crazy skybirds yet, but I'd give you 50-to-1 odds the police have cleared up that cemetery thing by now.
I hope so.
If you're really that worried, Jeff, why don't you radio in and find out? Mac should be on duty at the field by now. He could call Paul and relay the message to you.
Hi, Edie.
Hi, Silence. I haven't heard a word from this end of the plane since we left the field.
I've just been giving himself and me a study in silence.
You boys aren't feuding.
No, Edie, nothing like that.
Hey, Edie, how about you and me balling it up in Albuquerque?
What was that?
Hey, Edie, how about you and me balling it up in Albuquerque?
I can honestly say I have never used that line myself.
Albuquerque, have you read that flight schedule, boy?
What about it?
We land in Albuquerque at 4 a.m. That's strictly a 9 o'clock town.
Well, I know a friend that'll help us.
Let's have the problem first. Huh, Danny?
Oh, he's worried about Paula.
I read about that cemetery business. I tried to get you kids not to buy too near one of those things. We get there soon enough as it is.
He thought it'd be quiet and peaceful there.
No doubt about that. It's quite all right, like a tomb. I'm sorry, Jeff. That was a bad joke. Say, I almost forgot what I came in here for. How's the coffee situation?
That's for me.
It sure wouldn't hurt a thing, Edie.
Okay, be right back. And say, Jeff, make that call to Mac.
Nah, not only she throw cold water on my Albuquerque plan, but now she's repeating herself. How about that Albuquerque ball?
I can't resist your charm, Danny boy.
Residents near the cemetery paid little attention to the blast of thunder and the flash of lightning. But from the blast arose the moving figure of the dead old man.
So, how did the old man and his dead wife get to be vampires all of a sudden?
Well, I was going to ask you. You're the movie expert.
I got nothing.
Hello? Who?
Baby, it's Mac.
Mac?
Your old Mac Daddy.
Well, hi, Mac.
You all right, baby?
Sure, I'm all right. I just fell asleep. Tell Jeff I'm all right.
I'd rather tell him what you're wearing.
Okay, Mac. Thanks for calling. Good night.
Giggity.
Oh, that Mac. If only I could go back and do things different this time.
I suddenly feel like myself again.
Oh my God, she's had like a wastectomy.
One good stiff breeze would snap her right in half.
Does my waist make my butt look big?
Mrs. Trent! Mrs. Trent! What's wrong?
They'll be at the hatch in a moment. You can open it now, Tanna. Turn off the electrodes quickly. They can't tell us from anyone else.
I'm Vampira. My turn-offs are big egos, workaholics, and electrode switches.
It's tough to find something when you don't know what you're looking for.
I don't think the lieutenant does either.
Then what are we doing out here? I was off duty an hour ago.
Oh, don't ask me any questions. I'm just a hard hand just like you.
What do you suppose that noise was?
Whatever it was, it's no more strange than the other things happening around this cemetery.
Spirits like old Farmer Caller talked about.
Well, maybe.
The only spirits he saw tonight were those I smelled on his breath.
Well, don't forget, Miss Trent claims to have seen them, too. She didn't have anything on her breath.
She was hysterical.
Well, true, she was frightened and in a state of shock. But don't forget that torn nightgown and the scratched feet.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Guess that's why you're a detective lieutenant and I'm still a uniformed cop.
Sometimes it's only the breaks, Larry. Meantime, let's get...
Lieutenant, did you hear that?
How could we help it? It sure was strange.
Know what it was?
No more than you do. If it went for orders, I'd get out of here right now.
It was a saucer.
A flying saucer? What makes you say that?
Do you remember the noise we heard the other night?
We were knocked to the ground. How could I forget?
Exactly. But you're not remembering that sound.
There you're wrong, Lieutenant. I'm with the fact the sound is similar, but what about the blinding light?
Oh, haven't you heard? Been many times the saucer hasn't had a glow. Or a light of any kind, for that matter.
That proves it. What next, Lieutenant?
Oh, Lieutenant, maybe this doesn't mean much, but Jamie Meade found a grave that looks like it's been busted into.
What? Where?
Why, what?
Come on, man, out with it. We haven't got all day to waste.
Oh, just over there beyond the crib.
All right, show us the way.
Look, here it is, Lieutenant.
It's been broken into, all right.
Strange. If someone had broken in, the dirt should be piled up here somewhere. It looks like it's fallen into the grave.
Larry, you'll be out of uniform before you know it.
Do we have the right to look down there, Lieutenant?
Technically, no.
No?
This spot looks familiar, though. We shouldn't investigate any further without the permission of next of kin.
Let's go get it.
How? I see what you mean. The gravestone's down there.
Well, let's go down and find out whose grave it is.
How?
By going down and finding out.
Are you sure you mean that, Lieutenant?
If I didn't mean it, I wouldn't have said it.
Scared?
Well, why do I always get hooked up with these spook details? Monsters, graves, bodies. Oh, all right. Casket's here, but nobody's in it.
Can you read the name on the casket?
It's too dark. Give me a flashlight.
How about a match?
We sure could try it. Let me have them.
Okay.
It's Inspector Clay's grave, but he ain't in it.
Hey, everybody, we're back at the old Chiller Theater.
How about that Tom Mason? Do you like him?
Oh.
He's the guy who's doubling, kinda, for Bela Lugosi, who passed away during the making of the movie.
And we haven't really, I feel like, we're kind of not doing justice to the movie because we get carried away over the holiday season.
Well, that's what we do.
Right, exactly.
In fact, why Plan 9 at Christmas time? Well, it's just a holiday treat.
Well, I think
it's
it is.
Just a present to all you.
It is a Plan 9. I will
classic.
talk about a movie for a minute. It is a present, no doubt about it. And of course, in these troubled economic times, boy, what a lovely, fun holiday season we're having so far. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. So here we're trying to be happy and fun and give you a little bit of special love here on the holiday season. Now, do you have any holiday traditions at your house? Oh, man.
Well, I have a new cat.
Yep.
Little Vermin.
Yeah.
It's his first Christmas, so it'll be fun to see it through his little eyes.
Friends, and friends, he's not kidding. This is the part that could upset you.
Vermin.
So, what does Christmas look
Vermin.
like? What does Christmas look like through a little cat's eyes? Could you tell me that, please?
A lot of feet, I guess. A lot of shoes. You want to avoid being stepped on.
Does it involve, is there a toy for Christmas for the little one, or,
Just our love.
Oh my gosh, we may be done.
You're watching Ned the Dead's Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Would you believe I'm Bugs Bunny? I'm also the voice of many other cartoon characters. But in here, they don't care if I'm Elmer Fudd. So I carry an American Express card, the one card I need for travel and entertaining, for business and pleasure. Well, without this, the only way I'd get any attention is by saying, that's all, folks.
To apply for a card, call 800-528-8000.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey, everybody, we're back at the old Chiller Theater. All right, when we last spoke, Dr. O was talking about he wants to see Christmas through a cat's eyes. I had something horrible happen with, we have 3 cats, okay? We're cat lovers as well. So, we keep the cat food in the basement, and there's a cat door that they go through, which at one time was big, but the cats are so fat that they have to drag themselves. They actually get combed while they go through it by the actual frame of the door, tears off the horrible mats that they have and stuff. But I realized, of course, I'm sure I'll be contacted by the Humane Society. I realized that I hadn't been down in the basement.
It's like a Play-Doh fun factory.
No, I hadn't been down in the basement in a couple of days. Unfortunately, I realized that their food had run out down there. Not for a long time. They were fine, and believe me, they're fine. So I got the food bag. I cracked the food bag. You have never seen animals run any faster than these. Why would I tell anyone this? I'm very sad.
Shame.
But meanwhile, at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C.
Right, G2. Come in. Yes, of course. I'll keep in touch. Come in, Colonel Edwards. Close the door. At ease, Colonel. Thank you, sir. Sit down. I understand, Colonel, you've been on tap for many of our saucer attacks.
I'm in charge of field operations, sir.
You believe there are such things as flying saucers, Colonel?
Yes, sir.
You've seen them?
Yes, sir.
You realize there's a government directive stating that there is no such thing as a flying saucer?
Yes, sir.
You stand by your statement that you've seen flying saucers?
Well, yes, sir.
This could mean a court-martial, admitting this against direct orders.
General Roberts, may I speak freely?
You may.
How could I hope to hold down my command if I didn't believe in what I saw and shot at?
I like you, Colonel.
Thank you, sir.
There are flying saucers. There's no doubt they are in our skies. They've been there for some time.
What are we going to do about them?
Who knows?
Then they really are there.
I thought you were convinced of that.
I am.
We've had contact with them.
Contact? How?
Radio.
They speak our language?
Well, not quite. We received messages from their spaceships. For a while, it came in as just a lot of jumbled noise.
And now, sir?
Well, since they first tried contact with us by radio, we've developed a language computer. A machine that breaks down any language to our own.
General, what's this all got to do with me?
Well, you've been in charge of saucer field activity for a long while. I think it's about time you heard these recordings. Do you mind?
Mind? Huh, I'm anxious.
This is Eros, a space soldier from a planet of your galaxy. I fully realize our language differences. However, I also know you finally have perfected the dictorobotery, or as you on Earth call it, the language computer. So you can now understand that which I speak. Since the beginning of your time, we have been far beyond your planet. It has taken you centuries to even grasp what we developed eons of your years ago. Do you still believe it impossible we exist? You didn't actually think you were the only inhabited planet in the universe. How can any race be so stupid? Permit me to set your mind at ease. We do not want to conquer your planet, only save it. We could have destroyed it long ago if that had been our aim. Our principal purpose is friendly. I admit we have had to take certain means which you might refer to as criminal. That is because of your big guns, which have destroyed some of our representatives. If you persist in denying us our landings, then we must only accept that you do not want us on friendly terms. We then have no alternative but to destroy you before you destroy us. With your ancient, juvenile minds, you have developed explosives too fast for your minds to conceive what you are doing. You are on the verge of destroying the entire universe. We are a part of that universe. This is our last...
That's the end of that one. Atmospheric conditions in outer space often interfere with transmitting.
There is no atmospheric conditions in outer space. That's why it's so cold.
And hard on the nipples.
How many of these recordings do you have, General?
An even dozen up to now. This was the last one. We received it over a month ago.
Do you think they mean business?
We can't afford to take any chances. Come over here. You ever been to Hollywood?
Oh, a couple of times, a few years ago.
You're going to be there in the morning. Just a few minutes from Hollywood, in the town of San Fernando, Reports have come in of saucers flying so low the exhaust knocked people to the ground. There have even been stated claims of saucer landings. Major Carlson will replace you while you're out there. You're the best man for the job of attempting to contact them. Find them, Colonel. See what in hell it is they want.
All right, sir.
These are confidential reports, Colonel. Read them over carefully on the plane. Turn them over to intelligence when you get to Los Angeles. They'll have further orders for disposition.
Yes, sir.
Colonel Edwards?
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir. We are ready to report, Excellency.
You are many days late.
It was unavoidable. We tried to transmit via televisor, but atmospheric conditions made transmission impossible.
You should have transmitted as soon as conditions permitted.
I thought time was of the essence. Suspicion has fallen upon our movements. Our ships have been viewed near the point of operations.
And what has this added time gained, Eros?
We have successfully risen 3 of the dead ones.
Permit me to see one.
Bring in the big one. Use your small electrode gun.
I have taken 2 ships from your command.
But that will leave only my ship.
It is necessary that you continue your mission alone. I have need of your other ships elsewhere. Even though you have risen 3 of the Earth's dead, the plan is far from successful. And you, Eros, must prove it an operational success before more time, energy, ships, and your countrymen may be spent on it.
We will not fail. Everything is on our side.
Not everything. You do not have the live Earth people. You reported that your ship was viewed at the scene of your present operations.
That is correct.
They have been viewed many times, but not at the scene of operations. Something must be done about that.
Stop him, Tanna. He's close enough. Turn off your electrode gun. No! No! Stop him, Tanna!
I can't get it. It's jammed.
Stop him, you fool!
Drop the gun to the floor, Tanna. The metal will break contact.
That was too close.
Yes. Bring the giant here that I may get a better look at him. Yes, he's a fine specimen. Are they all this powerful on planet Earth?
This one is an exception, Excellency.
What are the other 2 like?
One is a woman, the other an old man.
An old man, you say?
Yes, Excellency.
This gives me a plan. Put the big one away.
Sorry about that.
Pick up your electrode gun. Make sure it's in working order before pointing it at him.
Whatever made it jam seems to have been cleared by the fall.
Take him back to the ship.
The old one must be sacrificed. Re-land on Earth. Send the old one to enter a dwelling. Then cut the electrokinetic and turn on your ship's decomposure ray. The result will astound those watching. Astound them enough to delay their intention until you have gained your other recruits from the cemetery.
Yes, Excellency. It'll be done.
Report to me when this has been accomplished. Eros, the Earth people are getting closer to that which we fear. Since they will not listen or respect our existence, they cannot help but believe our powers when they see their own dead walking round again, brought about by our advancement and such things. As soon as you have enough of the dead recruits, march them on the capitals of the earth. Let nothing stand in your way. Their own dead will be used to make them accept our existence and believe in that fact.
I'm feeling anticipation.
It's all right. And speaking of anticipation, it's our
Anticipation. So, just Hubertus you're talking about, I got the perfect thing for it. I got this stuff. It's a Ruthie Puda's onion poultice.
Wait, could you say Ruthie Putis again? Because that was...
No, this is some serious... I know how painful that... I know. It's Ruthie Puda's onion poultice. And you rub that on there, and it'll suck all that...
The squirtle out, that juice. Yeah, the
Unless
juice.
you use that. Sometimes people will use that for...
I like to put it in the booyah. No, I put it in the booyah. I like to put the... Because sometimes the booyah, it helps dissolve the bones in the booyah.
Don't try that. That might be... So you get the Hubertus pus in the booyah.
Hubertus pus in the booyah.
If you're serious about getting rid of the damn thing, use this Ruthie Puda's onion poultice.
Onion poultice. Ruthie Puda's onion poultice.
The next time I'm coming around the show, I'll bring you some by.
Let's just say it all together for once. Ruthie Puda's onion poultice. That is fun. That's fun. I like that. It is. It's fun to say.
It works.
It's fun, really, because I need it. I'm getting. I'll tell you what.
I know those things are so.
Well, and you get some.
Then you gotta sit on that goofy big donut. Just big. And then I sat on the jelly-filled donut. I did mess all over.
I did too. I sat on the cruller and the thing disappeared.
I'll try anything to get rid of the burning in the itch. I'll put anything on there.
No, I'm with you with that. I believe it's time for us to go now. Now, please.
You're watching Ned the Dead's Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
The tall man with a high hat and a whiskers on his chin will soon be knocking at your door, and you ought to be in. The tall man with the high hat will be coming down your way. Get your savings out when you hear him shout, any bonds today? Come on and get 'em, folks. Come on, skip right up and get 'em. Any bonds today? Bonds of freedom, that's what I'm selling. Any bonds today? Scrape up the most you can. Here comes the freedom man, asking you to buy a share of freedom today. Many stamps today. Give kiddies. We'll be blessed if we all invest in the USA. Sammy, my Uncle Sammy. Here comes the freedom man. Can't make tomorrow's plan, not unless you buy a share of freedom today. Any stamps, any bonds today.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Doc Moreau, speak to the people.
Well, I wanted to tell you about the other day I'm at the grocery store in line at the checkout, and I am behind a couple of Ned the Dead Show fans. And they were talking about you.
No.
And they didn't realize who I was. Apparently they watched the show.
Oh, wait, sorry.
There I am hiding behind my soap opera digest, and I had the cap on over my Einsteins, and so they didn't know who I was.
No, and what were they saying?
One of them was referencing the old classic Ned clips that we've been showing. And it was proof to one of them that Gilbert Gottfried was actually the first Ned the Dead. And then in the 90s, he sold the franchise to John Mino.
Nice. Well, and those things are all possibly true.
They were standing there talking about the Ned the Dead show, and I'm just, I never bought Paul and Nikki as a couple. I'm not surprised they broke up. They didn't know who I was.
You know, I'll tell you what, nothing is worse than watching those old clips because, man, it makes you realize time has gone by, boy.
I missed the mullet.
Oh, well, the mullet.
And the white gloves?
I know. The white gloves. The only problem with the white gloves were, by the end of the show, the smell of those gloves from handling things and touching the makeup and whatever, they smelled like a trip into a world that one would never want to. See, when your fingers smell that bad, well, you're probably used to that.
Now you can sell them on eBay.
You're probably used to that.
Mr. Miss Strand, this is Colonel Edwards from Washington, D.C.
Good evening, Colonel.
Hello, Colonel.
Colonel would like to ask you a few questions.
Questions? What about, Colonel? May I, sit down?
Oh, I'm sorry. Please do.
I want to ask you about your strange experience the other night when you saw the flying saucer.
After that, the police brought me home. I hope I never see such a sight again.
Well, after your description, I don't think I'd want to see it either. One thing more. After you were forced to the ground by that blast of wind, was it a hot or cold blast?
What are you looking at me for?
It was a hot and stinky blast.
Well, sorry. Atmospheric conditions in inner space.
It's kind of hard to explain. It wasn't hot, wasn't cold. It was just a terrific force. We couldn't get off the ground.
The light blinded me so badly, I couldn't see a thing. We could only feel the pressure of the wind until it was gone. When the glare left us, we could see a glowing ball disappearing off in the distance,
Which way?
toward the cemetery.
This is the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
And every word of it's true, too.
That's the fantastic part of it.
Colonel, we found a lot of suspicious things out in that cemetery. But then again, we didn't find anything to base a fact or suspicion on. Hey, you hear anything? You see anything out there, Kelton?
Too dark, Lieutenant. But something started stinking awful bad.
There's something out there.
Mrs. Trent just washed Jeff's clothes with our new laundry detergent.
And does it ever make his shirts smell good?
Ooh.
What do you make of that?
You got me. Didn't look that way a minute ago.
What about your man?
Oh, the excitement I forgot all about, Kelton. He'll be all right in a few minutes.
Did you see that thing? Did you get it?
We got it.
What was it? It didn't fall. I fired every bullet I had.
So did I. I don't know what it was or what happened. But unless that bag of bones over there can reassemble itself, it's out of the running now.
Colonel, I've been out here so often you think I've taken a lease on this place.
Not a long lease, I hope.
I see what you mean. But you know, I can't help but feel the answer's out here somewhere.
Is the girl safe?
Mrs. Trent, you better stay with the car.
Stay here alone? Not on your life.
Modern women.
Yeah, they've been that way all down through the ages, especially in a spot like this.
Calvin.
Yes, sir.
Stay with Mrs. Trent.
All right, Lieutenant.
Now, you stay close to the officer, honey.
I'd feel safer with you.
Now, the lieutenant knows best.
Well, I don't like it, but I guess there isn't much I can do about it.
Do you have a gun?
No.
You know how to use one?
After 4 years in the Marine Corps?
Here.
You think we'll need these?
You can never tell. Let's get going.
What do you expect to find out here?
Well, there's only one answer to that, Mr. Trent. We'll know when we find it. Inspector Clay's grave's right over here.
Is that the one you told me was broken into?
Yes.
This it?
Yeah.
Looks to me like someone had broken out instead of in.
I figured that, but that's impossible. Look, Colonel, some things just can't happen.
Yeah, well, after that apparition that was draped across Mr. Trent's patio, I would say we should keep our minds open to anything.
Look, Colonel, I'm a policeman. I've got to deal in facts. But I guess I'll have to go along with you. You know, I'll bet my badge right now we haven't seen the last of those weirdies.
They'll discover our ship soon.
You going to let them find us?
It's the only way. These are the same men who have been so close so often. They must be halted before they can inform others about us.
But there were others in the car.
They'll be taken too. Send the big one for the girl and the policeman. I'll turn on the dictorobatary so we may converse with them.
Hey, boy, keep your hands off your dictorobatary.
Yeah, nobody needs to see that, you weirdie.
Maybe we're barking up the wrong tree.
One thing a policeman learns, Mr. Trent, is patience.
Where's that burn spot you mentioned?
Right over there. Look. We'll investigate, but move carefully.
everybody, we're back in the old Chiller Theater. What do you say, Big Doc?
Oh,
I know. What do you think?
Fun. I'm having fun. This is great fun.
Yeah.
I love when the Dracula cape almost comes off while the old vampire's being shot at, but he catches it in time and hooks it back up.
We all love that.
And then Ed Wood says, "That's the print. Perfect."
We all love this.
Perfect. No take two.
Keep going. Tell us some other things
No
that you love.
take
Because
two.
I think everyone's going to say, yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I want to see Christmas through a small cat's eyes. A lot of us were excited,
The story with Vermin is that he was a drop-off. I live just far enough out in the sticks that people drop off the cats they don't want.
Where? By your house?
Yeah.
Why would they choose your area to do it?
Our last couple of cats have been drop-offs, and it's kind of sad, but they are so...
When's the last time any of you had an animal dropped off at your house?
They're so grateful and affectionate and don't know what a mouse is, let alone how to catch it.
But yet you name
It's a
it
sad
Vermin
state
in a
of affairs.
kind, horrible thing. that
Well,
you don't
the
get.
dog named him.
All right.
Something in the garage. It must be Vermin.
Please.
You're watching Ned the Dead's Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
Many people think it's quite worthwhile to go just a little bit out of their way to get certified lead-free Amoco gasoline. You expect more from American, and you get it. The American Oil Company.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
What do you say, Doc, baby?
Something amazing at the grocery store?
What, honey?
I found the most amazing cat litter. I just love it. I just love it. But the problem is, if I tell people about it, then
It'll
they're
be
going to
gone.
sell it,
right.
and they won't be there for me.
What do you love about
and
it?
nobody's paying me to talk
What
about
do you
it.
love about?
So
What do you
why
love
should I
about?
even-
What do you love about?
Oh, it does what it should do. You just take the lumps out, and the stuff that's left is great yet.
Now,
it's not all moldy.
It's great.
It's not all mushy.
Because
and
for those
mucky.
of you, now see, and it's funny
It's good
because the
stuff.
whole clumping litter thing. Now, for those of you who have cats, and I actually have integrated. I actually have a big box of this stuff that I urinate in. And I take that right out of the house because it became an issue.
How big are your chunks?
They're about the size of a watermelon. I mean, if you really have if you've been doing a lot of water drinking, you can carry out a watermelon urine clump. That is a lot of fun right there. Oh, and the wife, she loves that. Ah, what are you doing? Nothing. Carrying it out of the house. A lot of fun, my friend.
Premium choice. Call me.
All right.
A moment or two more, and you will be the first live Earth people ever to enter a celestial ship.
Wow. Boy, how can anything that big hide for so long a time?
Never heard metal sound like that before. What do you see?
Only my reflection. Must be some kind of one-way glass.
I wonder how you get into this thing.
I'm not sure I want to find out.
They're just outside. You can open the outer hatch now.
Look out!
You going in that thing? That's what we're here for. I don't know. The way these things speed around, we might just get in there and off it goes.
That's a chance we take.
Well, I took a chance on those earlier airplanes. Might just as well see what the inside of one of these looks like. Got your guns ready?
I'll tell you one thing. If a little green man pops out of me, I'm shooting first and asking questions later.
They're in the outer chamber now. Eros, do we have to kill them?
Yes.
Seems such a waste.
Well, wouldn't it be better to kill a few now than, with their meddling, permit them to destroy the entire universe?
You're always right, Eros.
Of course. But those are not my words. Those are the words of the ruler.
You two stay right where you're at.
We will do as you command. For the moment.
No, for the moment about it. You just do as I tell you.
You do not need guns.
Maybe we think we do.
They would be of no use to you now.
They've been mighty useful before on flesh and blood. And you two look like you've got a lot of both.
How rude. What a thing to say. And the jerk was looking right at her when he said it.
Don't be mean. We don't have to be mean.
True, they would be effective upon us. If you were to have the opportunity to use them.
Mister, if you don't get away from that control board, I'll show you just how effective they can be.
Shall we talk now or wait? Your friends will be here shortly.
What friend?
Those you left at the vehicle.
If you've done anything to Paula...
Take it easy, Mr. Trent. Oh, I assure you no harm has come to her. Would you like to see?
Next time you try that, I won't aim at the board.
You're a headstrong young man. I was only going to turn on the televisor so you could see her movements.
Go ahead, my friend. But move very carefully.
She's only fainted.
You fiend.
I? A fiend?
Oh, snap. Now they did it.
There'll be no shutting him up now.
Here we go.
I am a soldier of our planet. I? A fiend? We did not come here as enemies. We came only with friendly intentions. To talk. To ask your aid. Our aid? Yes. Your aid for the whole universe. But your governments of Earth refused even to accept our existence. Even though you've seen us, heard our messages, you still refuse to accept us.
Why is it so important that you want to contact the governments of our Earth?
Because of death. Because all you of Earth are idiots.
Now, you just hold on, Buster.
No, you hold on. First was your firecracker, a harmless explosive. Then your hand grenade. They began to kill your own people a few at a time. Then the bomb. Then a larger bomb. Many people are killed at one time. Then your scientists stumbled upon the atom bomb. Split the atom. Then the hydrogen bomb, where you actually explode the air itself. Now brings the total destruction of the entire universe served by our sun. The only explosion left is the Solobonite.
What now?
Solobonite. And waggle your head like this when you say it. Solobonite.
Why, there's no such thing.
Perhaps to you. But we've known it for centuries. Your scientists will stumble upon it as they have all the others. But the juvenile minds which you possess will not comprehend its strength until it's too late.
You're way above our heads.
The Solobonite is a way to explode the actual particles of sunlight.
Why, that's impossible.
Even now, your scientists are working on a way to harness the sun's rays. The rays of sunlight are minute particles. Is it so far from your imagination they cannot do as I have suggested?
Why, a particle of sunlight can't even be seen or measured.
Can you see or measure an atom? Yet you can explode one. A ray of sunlight is made up of many atoms.
So what if we do develop this Solonite bomb?
Solobonite.
We'd be even a stronger nation than now.
Stronger. You see,
You see? Your stupid minds. Stupid! Stupid! That's all I'm taking from you. Get back here, you jerk! Let him finish. It's because of men like you that all must be destroyed. Headstrong, violent, no use of the mind God gave you. You talk of God? You also think it impossible that we too might think of God? You, who wear the uniform of your country, you see, I wear the uniform of my country. Yes, we've had to use drastic means to get to you, but you left us no alternative. When you have the Solobonite, you have nothing. Nor does the universe.
You speak of Solobonite, but just what is it?
Solobonite.
Take a can of your gasoline. Say, this can of gasoline is the sun. Now, you spread a thin line of it to a ball, representing the earth. Now, the gasoline represents the sunlight, the sun particles. Here we saturate the ball with the gasoline, the sunlight. Then we put a flame to the ball. The flame will speedily travel around the earth, back along the line of gasoline to the can, or the sun itself. It will explode this source and spread to every place that gasoline, our sunlight, touches. Explode the sunlight here, gentlemen. You explode the universe. Explode the sunlight here, and a chain reaction will occur direct to the sun itself, and to all the planets that sunlight touches, to every planet in the universe.
Lore addendum. Of course, this scene had a profound effect on a young Michael Bay,
who vowed to become a great Hollywood director
and blow stuff up real good.
This is why you must be stopped. This is why any means must be used to stop you. In a friendly manner, or as it seems, you want it. He's mad.
Mad? Is it mad that you destroy other people to save yourselves? You have done this. Is it mad that one country must destroy another to save themselves? You have also done this. How then is it mad that one planet must destroy another who threatens the very existence?
That's enough! In my land, women are for advancing the race, not for fighting man's battle. Life is not so expansive on my planet. We don't cling to it like you do. Our entire aim is for the development of our planet.
Hey, everybody, we're back on the old Dead the Dead show. What do you think? Can I...
Cat Montbois.
Yes, I am
Nice
Cat
to meet
Montbois.
you. know what? I believe there used to be a joke involving Montbois about some poor explorers who got caught by cannibals, and they had a choice by the chief. They could either have death or Montbois.
That is correct.
Montbois turned out to be not so pleasant.
No.
So the last guy wanted death, and then the chief said, death by Montbois.
Or I always heard death, but first Montbois, which I liked better.
No.
So I didn't like death by Montbois.
No.
I actually liked my version better. Because, and again, it wasn't my version, but that's the way I heard it. And he says, I'll take death. And he goes, death. But first, Montbois. And so to me, that was, I really liked that one.
So is it possible people hear different words?
The whole Montbois thing.
I could swear
a couple
it
of
was
years
Montbois.
ago, I decided I wanted to change my name to Cat Montbois. That has actually stuck. I mean, there are people who call me Mr. Montbois. I know. I really like it. There's something, it just feels great.
Montbois.
Say it, Montbois. Moontbwah. Enjoy it.
You're watching Ned the Dead's Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
Nice party for blondes. Picture perfect blondes, that is. Sally wasn't picture perfect till I came along. Then she used picture perfect to renew faded color, tone down brassiness. Are you the blonde you became a blonde to be? After each shampoo, simply rinse on Clairol's picture. Perfect.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey, Okay, we're back on the old Netherdimensional. Sorry to scare you.
That's all right.
Do you always wear a bib? Do you always wear bibs?
I don't always wear bibs. Sometimes I sleep naked.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
This is kind of my come to town, dressed up bibs.
Yeah, I wear bibs sometimes too.
Otherwise, I like to wear around the barn. I wear my cutoff shorts.
Yeah,
Those are pretty nice.
Oh, I think we all do.
And tall socks.
Yeah, I like the cutoffs are nice. They really play nice.
Tall socks.
Are these freshly pressed?
Pretty tight.
Are they, why? Because he's asking you. He wants to press them. Say no.
These
say
are
no. Just say
impressive
no.
bibs.
Whenever impressive. Whenever Doc Rose says anything like that, are they freshly pressed? When his hands come out like this, say no.
That's the same guy that runs around with the pootie.
That's a pootie cat. Yeah, where is the pootie cat around anywhere? Oh, there, right down there. Bring the pootie cat in. The Blad Wow. Would you like to touch? Would you like to touch Mr. Pootie?
Well, don't wake him up.
Touch Mr. Pootie there.
This here's a gosh darned real cat. I'm telling you.
I agree.
There's no doubt about it.
I agree with you. There's something. Here's a bad PETA situation about to unfold.
He doesn't look like he's doing too good. A little stiff. Maybe he's in the rut.
What happened to you?
How come you're all alone? I asked for lots of help.
You sounded drunk or something on the radio.
I didn't see it with my own eyes. I'd never believe it.
Believe what?
It was horrible. And he almost broke my shoulder.
Look, what are you trying to say? If you don't make sense, we'll never get to the bottom of this. Now, who slugged you?
Inspector Clay.
What?
It was Clay, all right. Only not like we remembered him. Well, his leg was busted into, wasn't it?
Next, you'll tell me you saw skeletons.
We did, earlier.
Now I know you're off your rocker.
All of us saw it. The lieutenant, the colonel, everybody.
Where's the lieutenant now?
We've got to find him. Mrs. Trent is gone. I was left here to guard her. But Clay showed up and put me out of the running. And the second time tonight, and I'm getting darn tired of it.
Which way were they going?
Off that way.
Come on!
Then one day it could all be gone. One big puff of smoke and ball of fire. All that out there. The stars, the planets, all just an empty void.
You two had better come along with us.
Come with you? Where?
The police station.
So it seems you think you have the upper hand. Look out that window.
Jeff.
She is unarmed. But he would kill in seconds if I so choose.
Holy cow! Look there. It's Clay, all right. There's no mistaking that.
And he's got Mrs. Trent.
Get your gun ready.
From all I've seen tonight, guns won't do any good. Clay is dead, and we buried him. How are we going to kill somebody that's already dead? Dead! And yet there he stands. That other one earlier, I emptied a full clip into.
I'm seeing it. That's the only reason I'm listening to you. Look, I've got an idea. Hurt him or not, we've got to try something. I'm going to sneak up behind him and whop him over the head. That ought to make a move. Follow me. Even when Clay was alive, he couldn't run fast enough to catch me. So when he does, you grab Mrs. Trent and run like lightning in the opposite direction.
Oh, you think it'll work?
Know of anything else to try?
Oh, Paula.
It must be darn cold in that cemetery.
Oh, I'll be all right. Take care of the others.
Your men have felled the big one. This could only happen because the electrode ray is off. He'll walk again when I turn it on.
Hold it. Right there.
Suppose the lieutenant and the others are in that thing.
Well, supposing they're Martians or something in there.
Come on, let's go.
Open up in there. Open up.
Get that door open. Colonel, I wouldn't know one switch from another.
Hold on to him, Eros. I'll have the ship in the air in a minute.
Get out of here, Jeff. The ship's on fire. I wonder if that's the last we'll see of them.
Perhaps. But sooner or later, there'll be others.
Look!
Have they caught that woman? That thing yet?
Hey, that's right. There's another ghoul running loose.
And it's my guess that she'll look like him. With the ship and the ray gun gone, they have no control. We gotta hand it to them, though. They're far ahead of us.
My friend, you have seen this incident based on sworn testimony. Can you prove that it didn't happen? Perhaps on your way home, someone will pass you in the dark, and you will never know it, for they will be from outer space. Many scientists believe that another world is watching us this moment. We once laughed at the horseless carriage, the airplane, the telephone, the electric light, vitamins, radio, and even television. And now some of us laugh at outer space. God help us in the future.
Thanks for watching tonight, Big Steve. What do you think?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
for having me.
Oh, yeah, we're glad to have you here, my friend. We're glad. Oh, yeah, let's do one of those Roman deals. It's the Roman
Tiberius.
Tiberius. Yeah, small town Steve, we call him Tiberius.
You, Bertus, we don't really think you're a pustule line
That's right.
buttocks of the
You are
world,
right, you
but
are not.
Believe me, the poultice works.
That's right. It's the onion. What's her name again?
Ruthie Puda's
onion poultice, everybody.
Thanks for watching Ned the Dead and Doc Moreau. Remember to check out their stuff at nedthedead.com.